Welcome to the GW Communications Admin Timesheet Reporting tutorial. The Admin Timesheet Reporting function is hosted on the GW Communications Corporate Services Internet Information Portal. Access to the Corporate Services Internet Information Portal may be gained via any Internet-enabled device. Bear in mind, however, the site is optimized for use with desktop and laptop computers. Use of a tablet or a handheld device such as a smartphone may yield somewhat unpredictable results. From your favorite web browser, the site is available at www.gwcom.biz. Before we get started, it is important to note the two types of timesheet reporting available within the Employee Time Reporting app. Administrative time reporting is limited to the reporting of hours not specific to a particular customer and/or project. The reporting of exceptions such as personal time off or PTO, jury duty, bereavement leave, and personal days is completed via the Admin Timesheet Reporting function. For employees assigned to an administrative role, the Admin Timesheet Reporting function will be the only available option. Project-level reporting is specific to a customer and/or project. This type of timesheet reporting involves the reporting of both hours and project-specific bid units. Project-level timesheet reporting is beyond the scope of this tutorial, but is covered in depth in a separate tutorial. From your computer's desktop, open your favorite web browser and in the address pane type www.gwcomm.biz and hit the Enter key. At the login page, select your username from the drop-down list and then enter your password. Once your password has been correctly entered, the Submit button will be enabled. Click on the Submit button to proceed and then select the Employee Timesheet option from the Time Reporting menu. Note that the Employee Timesheet Input page is divided horizontally into two halves. The upper half of the page contains your personal information as well as general information about the timesheet being created. The lower half will display items as they are individually added to the timesheet. Let's begin the process of inputting individual timesheet entries. As noted previously, the admin type code is the only option available for those assigned to an administrative role. Once the admin type code has been selected, move to the right to the unit code drop-down list. Our first entry will be for 9.25 hours worked on Monday, February 8th. Once the unit code, date, and quantity have been entered, a down arrow icon will appear to the right of the input panel. Click on the down arrow to move this entry to the Timesheet Entries panel. Note, since we will only be making admin entries, there is no need to change the input type. The next entry will be for hours worked on Tuesday, February 9th. Since we are using the same unit code, we only need to modify the date and quantity. Clicking the down arrow appends this entry to the Timesheet Entries panel. We will finish time reporting for the affected work week by inputting remaining entries for the dates of Wednesday, February 10th, Thursday, February 11th, and Friday, February 12th. Again, since we will be utilizing the same unit code for regular hours reported, we need only modify the date and quantity for each of the three remaining dates. This ability to repeat similar entries greatly simplifies the task of timesheet input. Our next entry will demonstrate the input of exception time in the form of 8 hours of PTO on Monday, February 15th. Please note that if you attempt to input a value greater than 8 hours per day for any exception time code, you will receive a message informing you that your entry has been modified to reflect the maximum of 8 hours allowed. You can edit an entry by clicking on the Edit button corresponding to the row you wish to modify. Click on the down arrow to recommit your changes to the Timesheet Entries panel. Note the presence of the Save and Submit buttons that are paired at the bottom of the Timesheet Entries panel. You can save your timesheet at any time. Be careful, however, not to click on the Submit button until you are actually ready to submit your timesheet. By clicking on the Save button, the dollar bill icon now appears. Clicking on the dollar bill icon will pop up a priced version of the items included on your timesheet. The dollar bill icon also serves a second very important purpose, that is, to notify the user that all changes have been saved to the database. You can exit your timesheet and return again at any time. As a means of preserving your work, anytime you click on a link that would redirect you from the input page, you will receive a dialog box asking you to confirm your choice. If the dollar bill icon is not visible, then you should stay on the page and save your data prior to exiting. As noted earlier, one of the primary conveniences of the timesheet reporting app is that you can save your work and come back to your timesheet at any time. Simply log back into the website and then select the Employee Timesheet option from the Time Reporting menu on the home page. Notice that the data from your timesheet is retrieved from the database and is displayed just as it was when you logged off previously. We will resume inputting entries for the second week of our timesheet. As before, select the Admin Input type and then move to the right to the Unit Code drop-down list. The remaining entries on this timesheet will be for regular hours worked. After selecting the hours unit code, we will enter hours worked for the dates of Tuesday, February 16th and Wednesday, February 17th, respectively. As stated earlier, when reusing the same unit code for entry on subsequent dates, it is only necessary to modify the date and quantity. You can also add a comment to any timesheet entry, either for your own benefit or for the benefit of your approving manager. It is good practice to periodically save your work. It is also good practice to verify that the data was saved correctly to the database by clicking on the dollar bill icon to view the priced preview of the timesheet. We will now finalize this timesheet by entering data for Thursday, February 18th and Friday, February 19th. Note that the dollar bill icon disappears as each entry is moved from the input panel to the timesheet entries panel. This behavior is by design and is intended to remind the user there is data in the timesheet entries panel that has not yet been saved to the database. Also, there is no limit to the number of entries allowed per timesheet. Each subsequent entry is simply appended to the bottom of the list within the timesheet entries panel. It is worth repeating that it is good practice to periodically save your data to the database. We will once again save our timesheet and verify that the database was accurately updated by clicking on the dollar bill icon to open the price preview. Our timesheet is ready to be submitted for approval. Clicking the Submit button will both save our data and submit the timesheet. After clicking the Submit button, a message will appear informing you that your timesheet has been forwarded to your manager. Click on the OK button to proceed. That's it. You will now be redirected to the home page. Click the Log Off option on the menu bar to exit the portal. Once your timesheet has been approved, you will receive an email receipt. Save this receipt for your records. Likewise, if your timesheet is rejected, you will receive an email indicating any changes that must be made. Log back into the app, make the requested changes, and resubmit your time.